Hey guys, welcome back to VELI. The title for this video may or may not be the best explanation in terms of what I'm about to talk about, but I feel like it closely relates to it. But basically, I'm just going to be talking about my entire just life in terms, not really about, life itself, but like what I want to do with it, and in terms of this YouTube channel being a part of it. This is going to be really rambly and just kind of like not very coherent. Well, I hope it is, but I'm going to be jumping all over the place. So if you have a problem sticking with me, I'm sorry. So let's start from the beginning. Ever since I was little, I always had loved technology. I started with like loving cell phones. I would love messing around with my mom and dad's like flip phone or whatever. I had, created my own, like cutting out cardboard and like printing like pictures of like cell phones on it, to like have a cell phone, and I thought it was really cool. And then I became obsessed with computers, the idea of computers. I would do the same thing where I'd like cut out cardboard and stuff, and I eventually got our like first computer handed down to me, like Windows XP, and I messed around with that thing all the time. And I loved technology, and that was the start of it. And by the time I got to high school, I thought that was like, I had it figured out. That I wanted to develop or create UI for computers or cell phones or games, like the user interface that you mess with. And because I had always loved theming Windows or my iPhone or iPod Touch, because I would jailbreak it and put themes on it. And, I loved the idea of customizing the way that looked. But at the same time, in the background, when I was little, I also liked watching movies. I liked watching stories, like Star Wars and sci-fi, and I like classics too. But yeah, I mean, action, basically anything action, I loved watching. And even my friend and I started making stop motions in 7th grade, which I've made a video on before, but we started it in 7th grade, where we would take our Legos and make little stop motions, because people on YouTube were doing that. We wanted to be like them. We would make those stop motions just like the ones I upload to my channel, and I had never really thought much about that, what I was doing. Like, I was proud of it, I was even doing an editing program and everything, but I always thought technology would ultimately be what I want to do. So the third thing kind of overshadowing that, ever since I was little, I liked creating things. I liked building things, and so that's why I always had the idea in my head that when I was little, that I would be like creating technology or building technology, and I at the same time I was like building Legos and creating these little stop motions. So now we're kind of at the present now a little bit, basically at the beginning of high school, where I thought I had it all figured out what I wanted to do, and then I realized that storytelling is really important to me. In the past 2 years, I've learned that stories are very important to me and affect me on emotional levels. That the stories that aren't even real affect me on emotional levels. From not even in terms of movies, but video games. And that's why I play them so much. I love story video games because I love getting a story out of them and, interacting with that story. And at the same time, I'm making the stop motions. I'm making my own story. I'm learning how to edit films. I'm learning how to, do animation. With even the last stop motion I did with the Star Wars thing, I was animating in that. I was using assets and moving them around, and I didn't even realize that I was doing that. So here I am right now, and I wanted to go into game development, because I love video games. I play them all the time, and I love technology. I can use that to create video games, and I know basically how they work, and I know the basics of what goes on with how they work, and I'm basically going to college to learn how to make video games right now. But I also like filmmaking, and I also really like that too. And then so I'm at the point here now where I love several different things, but I don't know what I want to exactly do if I choose one or the other. And some of them cross between each other. So, for example, I want to make games. Well, there's a lot of stuff you can do in making games. Very rarely is there somebody who does it all in game making. Everybody has their own job. So, well, what do I want to do? Well, I don't have to decide that yet, but it could be too late if I'm, basically already through college and I decide to go ultimate filmmaking route. So there's several things I could do with game making. I could be an animator, I could be a programmer, I could be a creative director, and all of those seem appealing to me. And for the longest time I thought that I wanted to be a programmer, but I don't really think that I would be the best at that because I mess with code and I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I want to do that because when it comes down to it with all of this, I want to make video games, but I'm better and more experienced in filmmaking and animation. So I don't know which one I want to do, and I still don't know what I want to do, but I want to do one of those things. I want to tell stories. I don't know how I am going to tell the stories. I have stories I want to tell. I want to tell them, but I don't know which way I'm going to tell them yet, or on how big of a scale that I can tell them. Because I could tell them through filmmaking, I could tell them through a video game, I could tell them through a 3D animated film or a live action film. I could be the creative director on that, I could be the writer, or I could be the guy animating, but I don't know how much of a say I would have in the story because I'm an animator and I'm not a higher up guy, I'm not deciding the story. But then I could go in the director out of indie film or indie games, but at the same time that's pretty rough. It's hard to get started there. And now you see why I'm having trouble deciding, because there are so many options to choose from. And why is all this relevant to you? Why do you guys care? Why are you listening to me whine? Well, all of this reflects what I put on my YouTube channel. YouTube is a hobby to me. And I don't know exactly what I want to put on it, because I have entire game series on there, but I'm not happy with them. They're not great, and people don't watch them, but at the same time, I like uploading them. I like making them, but I know they're not that great. But if I'm not satisfied with it, then why am I making them? And then so you see why this is affecting my YouTube channel, because I always cannot choose a direct route. My YouTube channel is basically anything that I like, I just kind of throw on there, and it's not even everything that I like that I throw on there. And so I thought like a year ago that I was okay with just throwing random stuff on there, but it has been tormenting me every time I upload something on there if this is the right thing to do, if I'm wasting my time doing this. And I really want to convince myself to not think like that. I want to just do it. Just make stuff. I don't want to think about it, but I keep thinking about it. So basically, I struggle with creativity in the term of I don't know what I want to create for the channel. If I want to stick with making games, if I want to like somehow go really hard on making short films, but at the same time, short films require a lot of cooperation that does not just include me. It is I need several people to do it, and it almost never works out. It's very stressful, and it is not just me that, you know, makes them. I need other people to do it, and if they don't want to do it, if they don't have the passion that I have to do it, then it doesn't work. It doesn't turn out good. If they don't have the same passion or goal that you have for it, then it's not fun. It's not fun to do. You're not connecting with it. So that's the problem with making short films. I already said why I don't know if I should, you know, upload gaming content. And then stop motions are basically the hardest thing to talk about, because I love a finished product of stop motion, but they're the most time-consuming thing to do. That being said, it will not affect what I'm about to put out. So I'm announcing right here, I'm working on How Star Wars Could Have Gone Part 3. I have a script, it's basically done. I started filming, I kind of started filming. I have one scene, the beginning scene. And I'm going to try to make myself the week after finals here, which is when you'll be watching this on the week of finals, I think. The week after that, the entire week I'm going to work on the stop motion and filming it and hopefully getting it done and uploading it within the month of May, hopefully. And there will be something special about it coming out on May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day, obviously. And I'm going to be uploading something about it on that day that is a little sneak preview. It's a trailer. I'm just going to get right down to it. It's a trailer. But, yeah, so I don't know when I'm going to be uploading to the YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm going to be making that, but I also could start uploading stuff that I like talking about, or continue making game content. Don't be surprised there, but I might just stop making gaming content, or I might do news on gaming content. Like the whole video is basically saying here, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be something, and I want it to be good. And the problem with making stuff and me deciding what I want to do is I want to choose the best medium that I can make something in that's going to be good, that people want to watch, that it affects people on an emotional level, that they're able to relate to. I want to make something like that. I want to make stuff that people connect to on that level. Sorry this was super dramatic, and I hopefully can cut this into something coherent. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that this helps me decide on what I want to do. Please like the video down below if you did. Subscribe to VELI for whatever nerdy content I make that I hope is cool. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching me talk about this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.